Hey, this is John Choquette, author of Burlwood Forest. For the past basically 2 years, I've had the opportunity to go around, talk to kids about my book, and it's been awesome. I've been at book festivals, writing workshops, school visits. I've been able to talk at libraries, do a number of different things. And this past fall, I had the amazing chance to work with students who are home educated. It was so cool. I was able to lead a 10-week writing series with them about creative writing, and it was one of the most fun events, workshops, things I've ever done. And so thank you so much for considering me to be a part of your program. Would love to be there, and I appreciate it. So this is just an example of what one of my presentations might look like. A lot of energy, a lot of interaction. It's a lot of fun. So thank you so much, and here we go. So usually when I start off, a lot of people are kind of wondering what this is about. And so I would love to tell you, but like I tell them, I can't tell them yet. I have to wait till the end. So I appreciate your patience, and we'll see. I'll let you know. But a lot of times I'll start off with a video. I have a quick video that I have on my YouTube channel. It's kind of a quick rundown of who I am, just a background of how I got into writing, why I love to write, and just what I do. And so I think it's probably the best way to introduce myself and let you know who I am. So here it is. Hey, my name is John Choquette. I'm the author of the Burlwood Forest series. And growing up, I always knew that I wanted to write. It's just something, I don't know, it was so exciting just the way that you could put words on a page, bring characters to life. And it's always something I was involved with. You know, I was telling stories with stuffed animals, Legos. I had no interest in building things. I just played with the characters. When I was in 5th grade, we read this kind of unknown book at the time called Harry Potter. I think a few more people probably know about it now, but it was just exciting to see Harry. You know, as each book came out, he was the same age as me, and he was doing big things. He was doing exciting things, and for me, someone who loved that story, who loved stories, that was empowering, that was exciting, and I knew that I wanted to be a part of it. That's what I wanted to do. And I knew I could do it because I was seeing it right there. I started writing Burlwood Forest the summer between my junior and senior years at college. Probably like a lot of writers, I thought, hey, I have a great idea. I'm just gonna go out there. It's $1 million idea. Gonna make $1 million. And thankfully, it did not turn out that way. I started, I had no idea where I was going, absolutely no idea. But it was a journey. You know, it took me 3 years to write, and during that time I finished undergrad, actually went to grad school. It was one of the worst, it was during one of the worst recessions, you know, the country's ever had, and so that was encouraging, but I knew that this is what I was supposed to be, this is where I was supposed to be. And I actually was sick for 6 months after I graduated, couldn't get a job, ended up applying to over 200 jobs. And so just thing after thing, setback after setback, and it was all a blessing. It was so tough at the time, but you know, if that had never happened, I would never have had the opportunity to write Burlwood Forest. I don't think it would have happened. So even though the days were hard, you know, I ended up doing some full-time work, some part-time work. I did some seasonal work, did some contract work. I worked for a few sports teams, worked for the YMCA, did just a number of different things. But the whole time I was working towards Burlwood Forest because that's what I wanted to do. And I knew I could do it. After 3 years, I finished the book, I got it out there, and I thought, okay, the hard part's behind me. Let's see what's next. And as I found out, it's maybe not that easy. I looked for agents for a little bit. I didn't find any traction, and so decided to go the self-publishing route, which has been difficult, but the best thing. It's been so great because I've really learned a lot about publishing through that. I've learned a lot about my audience. I've learned a lot about myself. I've had to do everything from the marketing to the distribution to everything, and I never would have learned that. I've had the opportunity, I've been blessed with the opportunity to do a lot of cool things since Burlwood Forest came out. I've released the second book. Third one's done, it's just not out yet. I have done over about 50 events. I've been able to hang out with kids, go into schools, teach writing classes, was the keynote speaker at a writing conference. When I go into schools, when I talk to people, when a kid says, hey, I didn't like to read until I read your book, that to me, that's why I'm doing it. You know, that's why I do what I do. It's for that kid who doesn't think that he can be someone, who doesn't think he can do something. And that's really at the heart of Burlwood Forest. It's been so much fun. I can't wait to see what's next. And we'll just see. So anyway, that's just kind of a recap of why I started to write, how I got to write, and just what it's been like since then. So what did I write? I'm here because I wrote a book called Burlwood Forest. What is Burlwood Forest? That's a great question. So Burlwood Forest is the story of a guy named Michael Pumpernickel. But Michael isn't your usual type of guy. He's not a usual superhero. Does anyone have a favorite superhero? Okay, no, he's not like Superman. No, he's not like Batman either. In the back. Iron Man, no. Michael Pumpernickel is not exactly the kind of guy you think that you would write a book about. In fact, hey, I mean, I wouldn't even call him cool. Michael Pumpernickel carries a fanny pack, which I think's cool. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but he's not really your typical kind of guy. But that's okay, because it starts off with his birthday party, and things can only go up from there, right? Well, the book starts off with his birthday party, and no one comes. Not even his invisible friend. Pretty sad, right? Good thing was the clown didn't come either, so he was kind of happy about that. But anyway, no one comes, and Michael's pretty sad, but one day he gets a mysterious letter. It's pretty cool, right? Does anyone ever get any mail? I know. It's awesome. It's kind of different than email. Like you go to the mailbox, there's a flag, it's so exciting. So this happened to Michael, and he got a letter that said, "Dear Michael, you're the guy we've been looking for." Whoa, how cool is that? You're the guy we've been looking for. That could mean you're the guy we've been looking for to give a lot of money. That's pretty cool. You're the guy we've been looking for to give a giant piece of chocolate cake. Okay, I'm down with that. But no, it said, Michael Pumpernickel, you're the guy we've been looking for. We're coming after you. Whoa, that's not good, right? You're the guy I've been looking for. We're coming after you? Wait a second, that's just crazy. Well, that's what happened to Michael. And so he ends up in a mysterious forest where an evil fox with sunglasses is trying to take over the world. And I don't want to spoil anything, go too far into it, but that's just what I came up with. And I think that's something you guys can do too. So we kind of heard a little bit about who I am, how I got into writing. This is what my book's about, and I think every single one of you guys can do this too. Of course, not exactly the same. Copyright laws do prevent that. However, inside every single person here, there's a writer. And if there's not, there will be. Because, yes, all you have to do is try. That's all you have to do. And so I'm here today just to talk to you about kind of my writing process, how I wrote this book, and how you can write one too. So what is Burlwood Forest? How do you get it? Basically at the center of this book are the characters. The characters are the main event. If you read it, you'll notice there's a lot of dialogue, a lot of back and forth, crazy characters. Guy with a fanny pack. There's an otter. There's this evil fox. Why does he wear sunglasses? That's crazy. And so it's that kind of book. It's also the kind of book where the narrator talks to the characters. Sometimes they get a little out of hand. They'll stop them. They'll say, wait a second, guys. Let's just move on. You're getting a little crazy. So in that way, it's kind of like Winnie the Pooh. If you've ever experienced that, you've seen that, you've read that. There's a lot of interaction. But it's also really funny, too. If you like a big adventure that's really easy to read, that's really fun, then I think you'd like it. But how did I come up with it? Because I'm not here today to talk about this book. I'm here today to talk to you guys about your book. What are you going to come up with? How are you going to do it? And so, a lot of things in this book were taken from my own life. And I found this kind of the easiest way to start, especially if you don't know what to do. So Michael Pumpernickel, as goofy as he is basically the same as me when I was 11. I know, hard to believe, right? Guy standing up here in a bread costume, he has to be pretty cool, but no. When I was 11, life was hard. It wasn't easy. And so Michael's thoughts, everything that goes on with him, that's something that I experienced or something I can imagine having experienced back then. And so when I went to write this character, I knew how he would react in certain situations because that's me. That's who I am. And so don't make your friends mad at you, but when you're developing characters, one thing you can do is base them off people you know. And so some of the other characters, the evil fox, he's based off my roommate from college. Now, he wasn't a bad guy. He just happened to like foxes and thought it would be funny if he was the villain. And so that's how that got there. But there's other parallels too. I took piano just like Michael, although my piano teacher wasn't quite the same. So he is in love with his piano teacher. His piano teacher, is about 25, very attractive. My piano teacher was kind of an older guy, very, very nice, but he had 9 cats. So that's how I figured out that I was allergic to cats. Love piano, tough experience. But the parallels are there. And so Michael Pumpernickel was me. I have an older brother just like he does. And then in the book, Michael Pumpernickel falls in love, not just with his piano teacher, with a girl in his class named Crispin. And so Crispin is based off of my wife, Anna, with her personality and kind of the way that we interact. So it was a lot of fun developing this story because it's something that I've lived out. It's something that I do. And so that's something that I know every single one of you guys can do. I know you can. And so when you're thinking about it, think of it this way. Characters are not just defined by their appearance. And so when I was writing, it was not just, Michael Pumpernickel has a fanny pack. There's more to Michael Pumpernickel than that. And characters are not defined just by a description of them. So if maybe you're describing his appearance or you're saying, well, he's kind of goofy, he's not really cool, I don't know about this guy. That does not truly capture the heart of Michael Pumpernickel. We know that, you know that, but when you're writing, it's something you have to think about every time because there's a lot to a character. There's a lot to a good character. And so I'm here to prove today this very thing. So I have some popular characters, and I want you guys to tell me if this person is nice or if they're mean just based off their appearance. And so again, we're going to prove that a character is not just their appearance, character is not just a description, character is defined by their actions. This is who they are, what they do. And so again, I have some popular characters. You guys tell me how you want to sort these, how we want to put them, if you want them to be good or bad. We'll see. So here, first one we have Gru from Despicable Me. What do you guys think? You think he's good or is bad? He's kind of smiling. He looks pretty nice. What do you think? So he looks nice. All right, we'll put him in nice. All right, so, and if you've seen the story, maybe you know that that's true, or maybe you know that it's not. Second character, we have Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph. What do you guys think? Well, he's got really big hands. He's kind of smiling, kind of not smiling. I don't know. You think he's in the middle? All right, we'll put him in the middle. Next character, this one's a little hard to see. But we have Mad-Eye Moody from the Harry Potter movie. Yeah, he looks pretty mean, right? So you guys are already starting to get it. I hear some people in the audience are like, wait a second, no, he's cool. He's nice. Well, keeping on Harry Potter, or what about Severus Snape? I know, he's kind of a mixed character. We don't know what to do. But in this picture, so mean, right? So mean. All right, this one I think you guys will really like. Hans from Frozen. Whoa, I know. But how does he look? He looks pretty nice, right? Okay. I know, got someone in the back not happy with that. Well, Hans, he looks pretty nice. What can I say? All right, next one. We have the old guy from Up. Old guy from Up. He looks nice. Okay, he looks pretty nice. Who's next? We also have Lotso from Toy Story 3. What do you guys think? Kind of another older gentleman. Who looks really nice, right? Or all around? Okay. Well, judging by your reactions, I can tell not a lot of people were pleased with some of the categories I placed these characters in, and that proves the point, right? But let's redo it and see where everyone ends up. All right, we're going to re-rank people. So, we'll go from here. Severus Snape, what do you guys think? Right, he's kind of mean, but he's also, spoiler alert, don't want to ruin it for you guys, but he's kind of nice in the end too. He sort of has a good heart. Life's been tough, so we'll keep him in the middle. So he's not all bad. What about Mad Eye Moody? This is an interesting one because if you think about it, when this was taken in the movie, this is not the real Mad Eye Moody. So this is actually Barty Crouch Jr. using the Polyjuice Potion to pretend to be Mad Eye Moody. So we know that the real Mad Eye Moody, while a little grumpy, is a pretty nice guy. This one is actually mean. What are you going to do? Alright, we'll put him in the middle. This guy right here, Wreck-It Ralph. He doesn't actually want to wreck things. He's actually a pretty nice guy. He just looks intimidating, which has made it's pretty tough on him. Doesn't get invited to the parties. Fix-It Felix doesn't really want to hang out with them. But he's actually a nice guy. Who's next? We'll go with Lotso from Toy Story 3. I feel like I don't even need to get this one out. He's a bad guy. We all know that, right? Alright. The old guy from Up. He looks nice, but as we all know, he has an army of like electronically controlled dogs. So he's actually pretty mad. Who's this? Okay. I know. Hans. Looks nice. We all thought it was nice. We all got fooled. Hans is a bad guy. He's a bad guy. And then Gru, he's a little more complicated, right? Gru, we all know that he's a loving father, but on the other hand, he also wants to steal the moon. Kind of wants to steal the moon. Who does that? So, he's pretty complicated. I think overall we can see that characters are not defined by their appearance. So we thought some of the guys looked pretty nice. They weren't. We thought some of the guys looked pretty mean. They weren't. So characters not defined by their appearance. They're also not defined by a description. We just talked about these guys. We wouldn't know anything. But if you think about their actions, what they actually do, well, then things change. For example, if anyone has read the book A Series of Unfortunate Events. So there's a guy named Count Olaf in that. Basically, if you haven't, there's 3 children. House burns down, become orphans, and Count Olaf says that he's a relative and he wants to steal their money because they actually have a whole lot of money. And so that's what he does. And through the series of books, he keeps disguising himself as someone else. In one, he's a gym teacher with a turban. Another one, he actually pretends to be a woman. You know, he's a receptionist, I think, in a doctor's office. And so Count Olaf is a number of different people, but who is he on the inside, right? He's actually Count Olaf. And so characters are fun, they're kind of complicated, but it's something I know every single one of you guys can do, because it can be your character. It can be your character. Where do you want it to be? And so today we're going to create some characters ourselves. And so I have a bag of random animals. And so they're weird animals. For example, the bumblebee bat. We have a sea pig. But I'm going to pick an animal out of here, and I'm going to have you guys draw it. I'm not going to tell you what kind of animal it is, and it's not going to be obvious. And we'll see what you come up with. Let some of you guys share, and we'll see just where your creativity takes you, because I think it can take you pretty far. So, spiny lumpsucker. What is a spiny lumpsucker? Is it big? Is it small? Is it nice? Is it mean? What is it? Who knows? And so, I'll give you guys a couple minutes to check it out, draw, and then we'll share. Alright guys, what'd you come up with? What do you think? Alright, you think it's big? What do you think? You think it's small? Right. And so usually this time in the presentation, we would actually have people show their pictures, and we'd look at them, we'd see what they came up with, and 99.9% of the time, they're all completely different, which is really fun. And so at this point, I would say, hey, let me actually show you what a spiny lumpsucker is. And this is it. It's an animal sometimes called the ping pong ball of the sea. It's a really tiny fish. Whoa! I know, kind of weird, right? A lot of you guys didn't think it was a fish. Some people had it in the air, some people had it underground. It's pretty surprising. So, we all have a different take on characters. We do. And that's what makes writing so much fun. Because even if you guys had the same characters, you had Michael Pumpernickel, you had the evil fox, your story would look completely different because it would be what you would create it. It would be your take on it. It would be your imagination. And so that's why writing is so much fun. And it's something you can apply to everything you do. Some of you guys in the audience might be sitting here thinking, wait a second, I don't actually like to write. That's okay. Give it a shot. If you don't like it, keep trying. Because I guarantee there's a book out here everyone will like. Every single person. Maybe you just haven't found it yet. But like I said, writing can help you with everything else. If you want to be an engineer, writing helps. You want to be an astronaut, writing can help. Writing can be there for every single thing you do. It's so important. But one of the fun things is you don't have to do this alone. Find some people who support you. Maybe it's your mom, maybe it's your dad, maybe it's a grandpa, maybe it's the teacher. I know, I probably lost some of you guys. It's probably the same person. But find someone. Maybe it's a friend. They will come alongside you. They will be there. They will support you. And it will be so much fun to share with them. That's something I found in my life. But wait a second. Our spiny lumpsucker needs somewhere to live. He needs somewhere to live. So what's he going to do? Setting is kind of difficult. So I'm from Raleigh. And one of the crazy things is my parents actually live near the dump. They live near a landfill. I know it sounds gross. However, it's actually pretty cool. It's actually pretty cool. Don't let me lose you. So the landfill's closed, has been for a number of years, and so now it's been turned into a park. And so you go all the way up to the top, the highest piece, where the last piece of trash was at the landfill, and you can look out, you can see all of Raleigh. You can see everywhere. You can see downtown, and my parents don't live very close to downtown, probably 30 minutes. You can see water towers in Nightdale, one of the suburbs of Raleigh. You can practically see Durham. You can see an area called North Hills. You can see everywhere, but Raleigh's called the City of Oaks. And so one of the biggest things that you see when you look out, trees. You see trees everywhere. And so I was up there one day and I wondered, hey, I wonder what's going on under those trees. You know, there's a story to be told. There's so many people. There's so many characters out there. Just like Michael Pumpernickel, just like me, just like you. And so I wondered what was going on under there. And so that's how I came up with Burlwood Forest. And your setting as an opportunity to change a lot of things about your character. Today your character is a spiny lumpsucker. And the setting can do three main things. It can lead to the conflict in the story, the main conflict. So what if the magic is gone in an enchanted forest? Do you think that would change things? I think that would change things. It'd probably make a big difference. Okay, the setting can also directly alter the character's development. It can. What if it's the end of the world? Do you think your spiny lumpsucker would act in a different way? You think you would act in a different way? I think so. So it's a big deal. But also, the setting may determine what audience you reach. Does anyone have a favorite type of book? You do? Okay. Science fiction? Do you like science fiction? Oh, you don't. So, you know, if your story is set in space, you're probably writing to this gentleman over here, probably not writing to her. Or maybe you are. It's not limiting in any way. It just helps you figure out who's really going to like your book. Who do you want to, target when you're trying to reach people to tell them about it. And so take those three settings. An enchanted forest. End of the world. Which is kind of a broader setting because it can happen anywhere. So anywhere in the world that you want to be. And then space. And pick one, and then in a couple minutes we'll see what you guys have. Alright guys, what did you come up with? Come on up and share. Okay, so you chose space. Why did you choose space? Okay, because you like space. That's great. How do you think your spiny lumpsucker would react? Oh, so he can't breathe in space, so he would die. Wow, that's kind of crazy. What did you do? The Enchanted Forest? Okay, why did you do that? Okay, so you like fantasy books. Oh, because you want there to be a wizard in the story too. So things have kind of taken a different turn than this, right? These are completely different books, yet I chose you guys because your spiny lumpsuckers actually look the same. And you guys were actually pretty dead on with what it is. It's a tiny fish. But with the setting, that changes everything. So again, writing gives you so many different opportunities. So many different opportunities. And so, I wrote one story about these characters. I've actually written two more. Second book's called Through the Woods. Third book's called Many Fields. They're both out. And I just wasn't done with it because there's so many possibilities when you write. So many things you can do. Live in your world. Explore your world. And see what comes next. And so that's just a brief rundown of kind of how I came up with this, and probably some of you guys have figured out what's going on here. And so, if you remember, what was the name of my main character? Michael Pumpernickel, that's correct. Anybody know what pumpernickel is? It's a type of bread. And so, Michael isn't a piece of bread. Don't want to confuse you guys, anyone to think that. But when I set out, I wrote my book, I decided to create my own publishing company. And so, Pumpernickel Art is my company. And so this is the logo for that. Why do I wear the bread? Well, like you guys saw, it's pretty eye-catching, but it's also just fun. Writing is fun. Creating books, creating stories is fun. And I would love for you guys to do it. I would love for you guys to keep going, because I know you can. Even just the short time that we spend here together today, I'm just so confident with the creativity that I've seen, with everything that I've seen. And don't forget, it's your story. You can make it whatever you want it to be. And so, characters are complicated. You know, they're not just a description, they're not just an appearance, they're their action, they're what happens in the story. And a setting can change a lot of different things. And these aren't even the main two, they're not even the only parts of a story, but they are two main parts. And so, I encourage every single person here to go out, make that character, make that setting, make the best story you can, because it's your story. And so now I want to open it up to questions. You know, I know that was quick, that was short, but I want to hear from you guys. You know, what questions do you have for me? What do you want to know? Because that's what I'm here for. Thank you so much for considering me. Again, I have such a passion for what I do. I've had so many amazing opportunities. Like I said, I've done over 55 different events all across the Southeast. My book is available in libraries, even up to Canada. And I'm not done yet. I want to get kids excited about writing. I want to get kids excited about reading. And so Burlwood Forest has been that opportunity for me. But I thank you so much for your time. Again, this is John Choquette, author of Burlwood Forest. Hope to see you soon. Thanks.